Before illness ever speaks, the body whispers. The question is, are we listening? Every heartbeat, every breath, every cell carries a message about our survival. Yet among the most overlooked of these messengers are our own nails. Those small, unassuming mirrors at the ends of our fingers. They record what we eat, how we breathe, what we fear, and even what we ignore. Look closely, for in those faint lines and shifting colors, your body may already be telling you what your doctor hasn't yet discovered. Today, we will not search for answers in laboratories or textbooks. We will find them right here, in what we've carried all along. Observation is the beginning of understanding. Every discovery, every advancement, every revelation begins when we choose to look more closely at what has always been there. The human body is a landscape of signals, a field of information continuously broadcasting the state of its inner world. And among its many signs, the nails, so small, so easily ignored, hold an extraordinary record of what is happening beneath the surface. They are more than decoration. They are diagnostic instruments provided by nature herself. When we look at our nails, we are not merely seeing keratin and color. We are seeing a reflection of balance, deficiency, vitality, and sometimes disease. What fascinates me most is how something so ordinary can be so revealing. Pale or white nails may point to anemia or liver distress, a body running low on oxygen or struggling to cleanse itself. Blue or purple tints may whisper circulation or heart trouble, where oxygen fails to reach its destination. Ridges and grooves are often the body's timeline, evidence of stress, malnutrition, or infection etched in silent precision. Even dark streaks or sudden spots might warn of something far more serious, like melanoma, waiting for recognition before it spreads. Nature does not shout, she whispers. But those whispers are persistent, waiting for those willing to listen. Science is not merely a pursuit of the unseen. It is the art of paying attention to the visible. In my own work, I learned that knowledge becomes meaningful only when it serves humanity. What use is discovery if it does not preserve or uplift life? And so it is with these signs. They are not curiosities to be admired, they are calls to action. The gift of awareness carries with it the responsibility to respond. When we teach people to recognize these early indicators, we are not sowing fear. We are cultivating empowerment. We are returning control to the individual. There is something profoundly human about learning to read your own body. It is a dialogue between you and the organism that sustains you. It asks for no special instruments, no laboratory, only attention and curiosity. The hands that build, create, and touch can also testify to what is happening within. In those subtle shades and patterns lies evidence of your story, your diet, your stress, your resilience, your imbalance. To observe your nails is to honor the intricate intelligence of life itself. Nature has given us mirrors within mirrors, systems within systems, all speaking in harmony if only we learn their language. The true scientist and the true human does not wait for crisis to begin paying attention. He listens now. He looks now. He acts before the warning becomes an emergency. So let us begin not with fear, but with respect for the small signs, the quiet messengers, the daily opportunities to know ourselves better. Awareness, after all, is the first medicine. There is a quiet dialogue taking place within each of us. a dialogue between the body and the mind, between biology and awareness. Every system, every organ, every cell participates in this conversation, offering subtle messages about our state of health. Most of us, however, are not listening. We wait for pain before we pay attention, for illness before we act. Yet long before disease announces itself, the body gives us signals. One of the most overlooked of these is found right at our fingertips, the nails. If we take the time to look, the nails reveal what the body endures. They are not passive ornaments. They are active indicators of internal balance or distress. When the nail turns unusually pale, it may be a sign that blood is carrying too little oxygen, perhaps from anemia or liver dysfunction. When it takes on a bluish hue, the message is even more urgent. Circulation is faltering. Oxygen is not reaching where it must. Horizontal ridges record the history of stress or illness. Events so impactful that the body paused its normal rhythm to survive. Dark streaks or sudden spots may be warnings of hidden malignancy, of cells behaving in rebellion. These are not aesthetic flaws. They are notes from within, written in biological ink. The remarkable thing is how accessible this information is. You do not need a microscope or medical degree to begin observing. The body has been designed with feedback systems so evident, so visible that they are practically invitations. Nature is generous that way. She offers her lessons not only to scientists in laboratories, but to every human being willing to look with curiosity rather than indifference. In science, I have always believed that observation must come before intervention. One cannot hope to correct what one does not first understand, and understanding begins with awareness, the simple act of noticing. So it is with health. When we begin to study our nails, our skin, our eyes, our pulse, we participate in the scientific process of self-care. We collect data from our own biology, and in doing so, we learn to respect the unity between the inner and outer self. But knowledge must lead to responsibility. Once you have seen these signs, you cannot unsee them. You are compelled to act, to adjust, to seek advice, to improve what can be improved. This is how health is maintained, not through grand miracles, but through steady attention to the small truths that the body discloses each day. Let us then view the nail not as trivial, but as a teacher. Each shade, each ridge, each change is a signal that life is speaking. To ignore it is to miss an opportunity for prevention, for understanding, for gratitude. For the body, like nature itself, always strives toward balance, and all it asks in return is that we learn to listen. Health, at its core, is a conversation between the visible and the invisible, between what we can see and what we cannot. The body, in its wisdom, constantly reveals what is hidden within. But we must be willing to observe, to notice, to interpret. Among the many instruments nature has built into our design, the nails are among the most honest. They are not ornamental details. They are mirrors of our inner biology. Every color change, every ridge, every texture alteration is a form of communication, an early warning, a message written by life itself. When you look closely at your nails, you are not performing vanity. You are performing science. A pale nail might speak of anemia, suggesting that the blood is starved of its most essential cargo, oxygen. A bluish nail hints that the heart or lungs are struggling to perform their task. Yellowing nails may reveal infection, or respiratory illness, while brittle or spoon-shaped nails can betray iron deficiency or hormonal imbalance. Each one of these signs, seemingly simple, carries profound meaning. They are not random occurrences. They are the body's attempt to tell its story before it becomes a tragedy. The tragedy, however, is that most people do not listen. We have grown detached from the language of our own biology. We place all our trust in machines and instruments, yet the most powerful diagnostic tools are already part of us. The body, if studied with patience and humility, becomes its own textbook. That is what science truly is, not the pursuit of complexity, but the discovery of order in simplicity. The nails, like so many natural phenomena, remind us that observation is the first act of wisdom. To care for one's health is not to chase cures, it is to cultivate awareness. When you notice change in color, shape, strength, you are given an invitation to act early. You are given a chance to prevent what others might only treat. This is the purpose of knowledge, not to create fear, but to inspire responsibility. When we recognize early signs, we give ourselves the opportunity to respond with intelligence, to restore harmony before imbalance becomes disease. It is humbling to realize that our bodies never truly betray us. They warn us, they send signals, they adapt, they fight, they whisper. It is we who too often refuse to listen. The nails are but one example, a reminder that health is written everywhere if we only care to read. There is great dignity in awareness. To observe your own nails is to acknowledge the continuity between body and mind, between observation and action. The hand that reaches out to heal, to build, to touch, also bears the signature of your inner world. Look at your nails not with indifference, but with reverence. They are the quiet heralds of your well-being, the subtle scientists of your own existence. Your body does not betray you, it warns you. Every change in your nails, every subtle mark, is a sentence in the language of life, a language too few have learned to read. The miracle is not that your body speaks, but that it never stops speaking. The tragedy is that we so often choose silence in return. So tonight, when you glance at your hands, remember, they are not just tools of work, they are instruments of awareness. To look at your nails is to look at the truth your body has been trying to tell you all along. And if you choose to listen, you may just save your own life.